Hello, my name is Eric Wilson. I'm the creator behind my latest film, Within, and today I'm going to be dissecting the last scene of that film. Within is a short film that explores identity, self discovery, and really the clash between one's inner self and perception of reality. When making this film, I really just tried to exhibit and try to show. How Black mental health can be impacted, especially with Black men in America. So, without further ado, I will be playing the final scene, and then we'll dig in into the more nitty gritty.
You're worthless. You're lousy. Waste of space. Unneeded. What is this? What is this? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What did I do? 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 God, what is this? Mama, I need help. Can you help me? Thank you. Thank you. What are you? What the fuck are you? The other one.
So, after we have the scene gone through, just want to start out with the beginning part of the scene. We are seeing the slow down encapsulation of the punchings, and Xavier, our main character, really hailing down this enemy with the punches. In the background, we get the song "Slipping into Darkness," which is a song that I've heard plenty of times as a black male, in entertainment and music, and I've over the summer, it was one of those songs that you went back and looked at what it actually meant, and it was like, oh, this has a pretty dark meaning, and I think that really exhibited what I wanted to create with this film. So we're getting into the nit and gritty here, and we have these upscale shots of our character Joel at the bottom, and he's really hailing down on punches, and he's really giving this enemy who we don't know who is, some very very distinct hits, and it goes black, and then we're getting into regular speed. I think that first scene where we're seeing just straight hailing and slowing down really impacts the viewer and makes the viewer kind of question what is actually going on. And that goes back to the origin and what I wanted to convey with this film about one's perception of reality. The viewer's reality is, okay, we're seeing our actor, this person that we've kind of met throughout this entire time of filming, and we're getting to know them. We're understanding that their mental health isn't okay. So we're getting to this point where they are now fighting someone, and it's really easy for the viewer or the one who's really just watching the film to be confused as to what's going on. And I think that was one of the first things I really wanted to implement as a filmmaker. So we're getting down into the more of the hits and the punches, and as we see, and then we get these over the shoulder shots of our character. Just some diagram of these shots. We have a stool on the left side, and we have me over top with the tripod on my 24 millimeter lens, which on my camera was reflected into a 35 millimeter focal length. So we're over top, over the shoulder with Xavier, and it's showing that he's not punching anyone. I think that gives that gives the film and the character its feeling of, okay, the perception of reality that we're seeing, is it true? Is it real? Is it something that we honestly can understand from our viewer? Is it something that we should even trust the actor who's presenting himself to us? So then we're getting these punches where, in these shots where we're seeing our actual character being punched now. So I think, and then clipping in between all three of those moments really just show and share context that, okay, our character isn't well, something is happening, he's punching himself, he's beating himself up. And I think that really just adds more character, and it adds more complexity to who our character is. Before we move into the next transition of the scene, I just wanted to touch more on the emphasis of music and why it matters so much that the music really just tailored to the action that was happening. As I said previously, that song was stuck in my head this almost the half of the summer, and I knew I had to have it for some project, and I feel like it just drips along the scene so perfectly well, as it really just shares and gives the characters and the viewers more context. Also too, in this scene, I just wanted to give some more diagram and some background information on how we ended up filling these over the top shots. So this shot right here was filmed as I'm laying on the ground on my belly, still have my 24 millimeter in my hands. These are handheld shots, and he's on top of me. He's not on top of me. He's on top of a pillow, actually, and my stomach is laid on the floor, and I'm grazing up, and I'm getting the view of him grounding the punches down on whoever this person ends up being. So as we move along through the scene, it gets a little out of chaotic, more chaotic, and then we move into black. One more thing about that, I just love going to the black shots because I feel like it gives the viewer a rest period for their mind to think, okay, what is happening? Okay, the first time it happened, the second time it happened, now we get more of reality, and we see that he's panicking. He's panicking. He's just disillusioned. His reality is messed up. We're going back to these shots where we're seeing him punching himself, and then he sees and meets himself in the mirror. The way we lit this is we still have this light to the right, but also we have these bulbs that Joel had in his apartment that they changed color, so they worked perfectly. And I feel like this shot right here is very, very beautiful as we see the lighting of the shot hit his chest and his shirt area. And as we're always seeing the blood going into the white shirt over the red, and it really just melds much together. And his face, draped in red, also melts together too. So I feel like that really just brought the entire piece together. So we're going into this, and we're seeing the context. We're seeing these flashes that we've seen the entire scene. We're seeing the chase scene. We're seeing the punches from just previous ago. We're seeing shots that we haven't seen of him playing with the knife. I think this is all just giving context to the viewer as to why this person is acting the way that they're acting. Is showing that our person is quite literally someone who's not okay. And as we move past this shot where we see him begging and asking God for help, we get the door opening. Originally, with this scene, the mom character was supposed to call upon him, and it was supposed to be, "Oh, I can help you." But as the film developed, and working through the team and working with our teacher, we really we really just figured out that that wasn't going to work. That wasn't something that was going to help move and push along the story. And as it goes silent, it gives you more context of this person isn't okay. I mean, they're talking to no one. No one responds, no one answers. He says, "Oh, thanks, mom. Thanks for calling me. Thanks for talking to me." But I mean, there's no one there. There's no mom to answer him. And as he shovels down into this part, I just want to make a note that this is all handheld. This is all a handheld shot. The reason why I decided to do this as a handheld shot is I feel like once we get to these manic, a little upset in the head mind moments, I feel like it's way better to use a tripod. It's way better to use handheld rather than a tripod, because if we're using this tripod, we're getting probably a smooth shot gliding back and forth, which is boring. But if we're following our character and we're following and we're giving the shakes and we're backing up because he's moving and we're moving back in, along with this being handheld, it's manually focused. It's really very common in today's film for all shots to look very clean. I didn't want this to be clean. I did not want this final sequence scene to be clean. That's the biggest thing that I came from when I was thinking about it. I said, when I'm DPing this, I don't want it to be clean. I don't want it to be a singular shot going back and forth, drifting as he's going, a little bit more manic or a little bit more crazy. I want this scene to be dirty. So we went manual, we went handheld. He looks down, he's basically, continuing to ask for help. He hears the creaks in the floorboards. He turns around and he sees that there is this person in the doorway. And we finally, as viewership, as listeners, or as readers of the film, we're finally seeing this second body like double coming into the doorway. This is a very cool effect that we did here. We actually just did this all in post. And also we have the light sulking from the bottom um of the floor. So as I'm eyeline as the DP, but my producer, actually Janelle, was under me with the light holding to make sure we get these harsh rough shadows into the face, and we get a clean zoom in that happened in post. And then we see that our character just simply ends up being hurt. People might ask what really makes this scene special. I feel like the bread and butter behind this scene is simply the unwavering not knowing what is happening, what is going on behind the scenes, and then seeing what actually does eventually happen to our character in the end. And I think that is really what made the film what it is today. It was a very tough time bringing this film together, as it was a lot of molding, it was a lot of scraping, it was a lot of cleaning up. It was just a tough start to the film, but I feel like this scene really creates and makes it okay, and makes the viewer understand why this film is this film. My name is Eric Wilson, and this has been a breakdown of my last scene of my latest film, Within. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.